Picture this. You're 44 years old. It's a Wednesday night. The house is finally quiet. The dishes are done, your emails are answered, and you open the laptop for something you've been quietly postponing for almost a year. You log into your retirement account. You stare at the number. And then you just sit there. Because the total amount you've saved after more than 20 years of working, managing a household, juggling careers, raising kids, and being the reliable one for everyone else, is roughly what a mid-range used SUV costs. And the worst part isn't the number. The worst part is that you've done everything right. You worked hard. You advanced in your career. You didn't blow money on nonsense. You weren't reckless. And yet here you are in your 40s wondering how you followed the script and still ended up with a retirement balance that looks more like a down payment than a future. If that thought tightened your chest even slightly, this video is for you. My name is Ruzi, and today we're walking through the exact financial milestones every woman needs to hit in her 40s. Not the inspirational Pinterest version. The uncomfortable, numbers-backed, reality-based version. Because your 40s are not a crisis. But they are a window. And windows close. Before we get into the milestones, let me introduce you to someone. Her name is Ruzi. Ruzi is 44 years old. She earns $92,000 a year. Solid income. Above average. She has 2 kids, one in high school, one heading toward college soon. A mortgage she can manage. 1 car payment she doesn't love. Some credit card debt that she tells herself she'll clear soon. And about $82,000 in her 401k, which she hasn't really checked since auto-enrolling years ago. She's not broke. She's not irresponsible. She's just floating, doing okay-ish, which, in your 40s, is dangerous. Milestone 1. Know where you actually stand, even if it hurts. There's one number that matters before anything else. Retirement benchmarks. Major retirement planning firms suggest you should have 3 times your annual salary saved by age 40, 6 times your salary by age 50. On Ruzi's $92,000 income, that's $276,000 by 40, and $552,000 by 50. Ruzi has $82,000. She's not slightly behind. She's not a little off. She's roughly $190,000 behind where she should have been at 40. And if nothing changes, she'll be hundreds of thousands behind by 50. And here's what makes this harder for women. Women live longer. On average, women outlive men by about 5 years. Which means Ruzi's retirement may need to last longer than her partner's. Longer retirement. Same or lower savings. Often career breaks for children. Sometimes lower lifetime earnings. That math compounds against women. If a 44-year-old wants to reach $1 million by 65 at a 7% return, she needs to invest around $1,700 per month. If she had started at 25, roughly $400 per month would have done it. That's a $1,300 monthly penalty for starting late. That's not punishment. That's compounding. Every year delayed in your 40s costs tens of thousands in future wealth. The milestone. Log in today. Add up every retirement account. Multiply your salary by 3. Compare the two. Write the gap down. That gap is your 40s project. Milestone 2. Eliminate the debt that's quietly stealing your future. Ruzi carries $8,700 in credit card debt, $24,000 on her car, $38,000 in lingering student loans. That's over $70,000 in non-mortgage debt. Debt that sends money backward every month instead of forward. Here's the order. First, credit cards. If Ruzi's card is charging 21% interest, paying it off is a guaranteed 21% return. You cannot reliably earn that in the stock market. Investing while carrying high-interest credit card debt is like pouring water into a leaking bucket. Second, car loans. Ruzi's $620 monthly car payment feels manageable. But $620 invested monthly at 8% for 25 years? Over $550,000. Her car in 10 years? Worth maybe $6,000. The math on car payments in your 40s is brutal. Third, student loans. If you still have them in your 40s, set an end date. Circle it. Debt without an end date becomes permanent background noise. And background noise becomes normal. Milestone 3. The estate plan you've been avoiding. Here's a quiet statistic. Most parents in their 40s do not have a will. Ruzi doesn't. She's busy. It's uncomfortable. It feels morbid. But here's what happens if something happens to Ruzi without a will. Her estate goes to probate. A court decides how assets are distributed. A judge determines guardianship for minor children. Not her. Not her partner. A judge. Even more dangerous. Retirement accounts and life insurance bypass your will. They go to whoever is listed as beneficiary. If Ruzi listed an old beneficiary years ago and never updated it, that person gets the money, no matter what her will says. Milestone. Get a will. Create a healthcare directive. Set durable power of attorney. Review every beneficiary designation this week. This is not about death. It's about control. Milestone 4. Life insurance, especially for women. Many women underestimate their financial impact. Ruzi thinks, if something happens to me, my partner will manage. But her income funds, mortgage payments, groceries, after-school activities, retirement contributions, the standard recommendation is 10 to 12 times income. On $92,000, that's roughly $920,000 to $1.1 million in coverage. Employer coverage of 1 year's salary is not enough. A 20-year term policy for a healthy woman in her 40s can be surprisingly affordable. But every year you wait, premiums rise. And if health changes, options shrink. Term insurance is simple. It protects your family during the highest responsibility years. That's it. Milestone 5. Retirement before college, always. Ruzi's oldest is heading toward college. She feels pressure. She's considered reducing her 401k contributions to save for tuition. But here's the rule. You cannot borrow for retirement. Your child can borrow for education. If Ruzi pauses retirement contributions for just 2 years in her mid-40s, she could lose over $100,000 in long-term compounding. And withdrawing from retirement accounts early? Penalties, taxes, permanent damage, retirement first, then college. In that order. Every time. Milestone 6. The mortgage myth. Ruzi locked in a 3.1% mortgage during low-rate years. She feels tempted to aggressively pay it down. It feels responsible, but investing extra funds historically earns more than 3%. Money locked in home equity is not liquid. It feels like wealth. It doesn't function like wealth in emergencies. This is not emotional math. It's opportunity cost math. Milestone 7. Build for the catch-up before you need it. At 50, contribution limits increase. That catch-up opportunity can add hundreds of thousands by retirement. But only if you're positioned to use it. Ruzi increases her 401k by 1% today. Schedules another 1% in 6 months. Automates it. Removes decision fatigue. People who succeed financially in their 50s don't suddenly become disciplined. They built systems in their 40s. Milestone 8. Check your investment allocation. Ruzi enrolled in her 401k at 29. She never adjusted it. She might be sitting in a conservative allocation that's quietly limiting growth. At 44, she still likely has 20-plus years of compounding ahead. Inflation erodes purchasing power every year. Too conservative can be just as dangerous as too aggressive. Log in. Check your allocation. Make sure it matches your time horizon. Now let me leave you with 2 versions of Ruzi. The first Ruzi avoided discomfort. She didn't run the numbers. She kept the car payment. She meant to get the will done. She reduced retirement contributions for college. She promised herself she'd get serious at 50. She's 67 now. She has $240,000 saved. She's anxious every month. She doesn't feel free. The second Ruzi ran the numbers at 44. It hurt, but she adjusted. She eliminated credit card debt. She got term life insurance. She updated beneficiaries. She funded retirement first. She automated catch-up contributions. She's 67 now with $910,000 invested. A paid-off home. Options. That's what money really buys. Options. Same woman. Same income. Same life. Different decisions in a specific decade. Your 40s are not about panic. They're about precision, not dramatic overhauls. Specific, consistent, unsexy decisions. Nobody posts on social media about increasing their 401k by 1%. But 25 years from now, that 1% will matter more than any vacation photo. The window is open. The math still works in your favor. But it won't wait forever. Make the decisions now, while the numbers still give you a fighting chance.